Hi, welcome to episode 2 of A Moderate Reads Trump's Twitter. So the last tweet we read together was Donald E. Ballard, on behalf of the people of the United States, thank you for your courageous service. You inspire us all. And that was at the Alabama Convention 2017, as per the hashtag. This was also 3 days ago, so I don't know how long after the last tweet this one was. It says, I request that Mitch M. and Paul R. tie the debt ceiling legislation into the popular VA bill, which just passed for easy approval. They didn't do it, so now we have a big deal with Dems holding them up, as usual. On debt ceiling approval. Could have been so easy. Now a mess. Now, I wonder why they didn't want to tie that into the VA bill. Probably because it has nothing to do with the VA. Like, really? Donald Trump retweeted Jerry Trevone about the best eclipse ever. Not sure about that one. Debate's still out there. Still wondering. We'll see. 3 days ago, the fake news is now complaining about my different types of back-to-back speeches. Well, there was Afghanistan, somber, the big rally, enthusiastic, dynamic, and fun, and the American Legion, VA, respectful and strong. Too bad the Dems have no one who can change tones. Bummer. He can just switch his emotions on and off, I guess. Then another one. James Clapper, who famously got caught lying to Congress, is now an authority on Donald Trump. Will he show you his beautiful letter to me? Why don't you show his beautiful letter to you? The only problem I have with Mitch McConnell is that after hearing repeal and replace for 7 years, he failed. That should never have happened. Okay then. How have you been hearing that for 7 years? Last time I checked, Obama didn't get his American Affordable Care Act in the first year he was in office. So 7 years, little fuzzy on that information. If somebody can tell me more about that, please do. Also 3 days ago, on Tuesday, I visited with the incredible men and women of at ICE Gov and at DHS Gov, Border Patrol in Yuma, Arizona. Thank you, we respect and cherish you. By the way, I have not read these. I haven't even looked at his Twitter since last episode. So, yeah. Next one. As Hurricane Harvey intensifies, remember to plan ahead. Check hurricanes.gov, check ready.gov, check FEMA.gov, and their little check marks. 2 days ago, a great honor to spend time with our brave heroes at the U.S. Marine Corps Air Station Yuma. Thank you for your service to the United States of America. Yes, I would agree with that statement. Greg Abbott posted and Donald Trump retweeted, spoke with President Trump and heads of Homeland Security and FEMA. They're helping Texas to respond to Hurricane Harvey. Awesome. Eric Trump tweeted and Donald J. Trump retweeted, honored to speak at the RNC summer meeting in Nashville, Tennessee this evening. At GOP, hashtag make America great again. Well, hashtag MAGA, but that's what it stands for. 2 days ago, if Senate Republicans don't get rid of the filibuster rule and go to a 51% majority, few bills will be passed. 8 Dems control the Senate. Good job, Democrats. Keep it up. Because some of these bills he wants to enforce are ridiculous. Like, for instance, repeal and replace. Last time I checked, they were just going to repeal it, or like a light replace, or whatever they were calling it, and it was not going to be pretty. Literally every person in the United States would be considered having a pre-existing condition, and I'm confused as to how that's helpful towards Americans and people who actually have like legitimate pre-existing conditions, and how expensive they all are, because they're expensive. And if we won't be able to get health care, then I digress. 2 days ago, General John Kelly is doing a fantastic job as Chief of Staff. There is tremendous spirit and talent in the White House. Don't believe the fake news. Don't believe him. He's referring to The Onion. No, I'm kidding. He's really referring to CNN, the hashtag failing New York Times. Yeah. So, They're not fake news, just so you know. 2 days ago, few, if any, administrations have done more in just 7 months than the Trump administration. Bills passed, regulations killed, border, military, ISIS, South Carolina. Okay. 2 days ago, Nick Adams, Retaking America. Best things of this presidency aren't reported about. Convinced this will be perhaps the best presidency ever. And those were in quotes. But the Retaking America was in quotes, and then the last part was in quotes. I guess that's just something Nick Adams said in some book. Or an article or something. I'm not too sure. I've been Snopesing a lot of stuff. Not Snopes. The other one. 2 days ago, strange statement by Bob Corker, considering that he is constantly asking me whether or not he should run again in 2018. Tennessee not happy. I don't know what Bob Corker said. That was just, I guess, Trump's comment on it. 2 days ago, I've spoken with Governor Abbott of Texas and Louisiana Governor Edwards, closely monitoring Hurricane Harvey developments and here to assist as needed. Good job, Donald Trump. Received a Hurricane Harvey briefing this morning from Acting DHS Gov, Secretary Elaine Duke, FEMA Brock, Tom Bosser 45, and COS John Kelly. Perfect. Then he says, I encourage everyone in the path of Hurricane Harvey to heed the advice and orders of their local and state officials, meaning get out and bunker down. Just arrived at Camp David, where I am closely watching the path and doings of Hurricane Harvey as it strengthens to a Category 3. Be safe. Nothing wrong here. Just arrived at Camp David, where I am monitoring the path and doings of Hurricane Harvey as it strengthens to Class 3. 125-mile-per-hour winds. Those were literally 2 tweets. Like, he doesn't know that he tweeted or something. Because they literally say the same thing, except for the last sentence. 2 days ago, storm turned hurricane is getting much bigger and more powerful than projected. Federal government is on site and ready to respond. Be safe. At the request of the governor of Texas, I have signed the disaster proclamation, which unleashes the full force of government help. Oh, okay, and then that was 1 day ago. This is now 1 day ago, too. I am pleased to inform you that I have just granted a full pardon to 85-year-old American patriot Sheriff Joe Arpaio. He kept Arizona safe. Not sure what all he did. So, who knows? Somebody does. Not me. If it were controversial, I probably would have heard about it, though. We will remain fully engaged with open lines of communications as Hurricane Harvey makes landfall. America is with you. Then he retweeted Governor Greg Abbott. To ensure your safety ahead of Harvey, he'd warned some local officials and review important safety information. And then Donald Trump said, you are doing a great job. The world is watching. Be safe. As he quoted a tweet by Brock Long, part of FEMA. Okay, he retweeted some other stuff about the Hurricane Harvey. Just from other people about thoughts and prayers and be prepared. He said, at Chuck Grassley, I got your message loud and clear. We have fantastic people on the ground. Got there long before Harvey. So far, so good. Then he said, closely monitoring Hurricane Harvey from Camp David. We are leaving nothing to chance. City, state, and federal governments working great together. And then he thanked a food bank for building emergency food boxes for those, I guess, displaced in Hurricane Harvey. Wonderful coordination between federal, state, and local governments and the great state of Texas. Teamwork. Record-setting rainfall. Cool. Then he is saying something about a book. Great book by a great guy, highly recommended. And that's David Clark's Cop Under Fire, I guess. Yeah. Cop Under Fire. 10 hours ago, great coordination between agencies at all levels of government. Continuing rains and flash floods are being dealt with. Thousands rescued. Oh, then he replied to himself. It says, many people are now saying that this is the worst storm hurricane they have ever seen. Good news is that we have great talent on the ground. It's the best talent you've ever seen. Believe me. No, I'm just kidding. 9 hours ago, I will be going to Texas as soon as that trip can be made without causing disruption. The focus must be life and safety. Oh, great. I will also be going to a wonderful state, Missouri, that it won by a lot in 16. Dem CM is opposed to big tax cuts. Republican will win S. I'm assuming S is the Senate. I'm not sure. I don't know what the Democrat CM stands for. But, please don't come to Missouri. We don't need you here. Although they are mostly Republicans. Oh, look. It says, wow. Now experts are calling Harvey a once in 500-year flood. We have an all-out effort going, and going well. Okay. Oh, here we go. Something important. With Mexico being one of the highest crime nations in the world, we must have the wall. All caps, the wall. Mexico will pay for it through reimbursement/other. I'm so glad you have a plan, Mr. Trump. So glad. Last time I checked, the Mexican president said they weren't going to pay for the wall. Also, last I checked, the wall is a stupid idea. But, who am I? Oh, it says this is 8 hours ago, we are in the NAFTA, worst trade deal ever made, renegotiation process with Mexico and Canada, both being very difficult. May have to terminate? ? I'm pretty sure it's not the worst trade deal ever made. But, again, who am I? 7 hours ago, going to a cabinet meeting, teleconference at 11 a.m. on Harvey. Even experts have said they've never seen one like this. Okay, and then the last tweet for today says, major rescue operations underway. So that was a little longer than I thought it would be. I didn't expect him to have that many tweets, which is why I waited so long between my last recording. Yeah, so I don't necessarily have anything against Donald Trump. I don't know if you can tell. I think there's a lot of things that he needs to be doing better. He needs to be thinking more about, like, the American people and what would be best for us instead of just him, for sure. But, like, him saying, oh, yeah, Hurricane Harvey, it was the worst, we're here to help. I've already signed the thing that the governor of Texas needed signed to make sure that, they would get all the help they needed. That's great. And I'm glad that he was not like, no, I'm not going to sign this. But at the same time, like, then in the middle he talked about the wall and NAFTA. And I'm thinking, like, it's a Sunday. You don't have to be worrying about that. You should be playing golf. I'm just kidding. You should not be playing golf. So yeah. I'm hoping that he can make a difference, but I know that he probably isn't going to. I'm very moderate to begin with. I'm moderate-leaning liberal, obviously, but there's a lot of things I think the Republicans could do better, or, like, would be better for us than stuff on the liberal side. It's just, he's not what I wanted in a president at all. So I was giving him the benefit of the doubt, and then bills started coming out, and I just wasn't thrilled, especially with repeal and replace. As someone who has a real pre-existing condition, as someone who's married to someone who has a real pre-existing condition, like, most of America has a pre-existing condition, especially when defined the way they did that it came out. And so, I'm glad he's kind of gotten off that for now, because there were a lot of Trumps earlier, like in July, that were about repeal and replace, and how, well, if the Democrats were doing this, they'd go to a simple majority, and this and that and the other thing, and I'm just like, no. Just stop. Please. Please don't take away my health insurance. I need it. A lot of Americans need it. Most Americans need their health insurance. And I don't have it's not like I have a solution, but I'm also not making the problem bigger. So if you liked this video, if you found it funny, if you found it informative, if you think I'm crazy, give it a thumbs up. Link to my Twitter. My personal Twitter is in the doobly-doo. I will link to that website I mentioned earlier. It's not Snopes, but I will think of it probably by the time I upload this video, and I'll link that down there too. That's where I get most of my information. I know it's liberal leaning, but it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be nonpartisan, but it's obviously more leaning towards the Democrats, unlike the hashtag fake news media. So yeah, like I said, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching.